Hello everyone, I'm Z from Susan's family. Today, I'd like to introduce to you the Chinese aesthetic series, Heavenly Match Wedding Dolls. It includes both the bride and groom, both of which consist of a main part, wig, hair bun, clothes and decorative accessories, etc. The main parts are roughly identical. They both include the bottom, body, arms and head. The decorative accessories vary. First, complete the crocheting of the main parts. Then finish sewing and securing the decorative accessories. Let's start with the crocheting method for the bride's arms. Now, let's take a look at the chart. In the chart, our plus number indicates the round number, increases and decreases explanation. This column lists the stitch techniques used, as well as the increases and decreases. The total stitches column shows the total number of stitches for the current round, after all stitching is completed. Below, please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet method. For convenience in viewing, I will use a different color of thick cotton yarn for the demonstration. For specific yarn, color choices, and hook size, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. First, we start with the cast on. The table indicates that the cast on is magic ring, which means an adjustable magic ring. Pick up the yarn with your right hand. Wrap it twice around your left index finger. Now there are 3 strands of yarn on your left index finger. Use your right thumb and index finger to pinch where the loops overlap, and take it out. Then, wrap the yarn once around your left little finger. Pass it through between your middle finger and index finger. Transfer the loop to between your left thumb and middle finger. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Insert the hook into the loop. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. There is 1 loop on the hook. Crochet 1 chain stitch to secure. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the loop on your hook. 1 chain stitch is completed. The magic ring is also completed. Next, let's work the first round. Our 1 is 6x. In this toy chart, X stands for X stitch single crochet, which we'll simply call single crochet from now on. The number before X indicates how many, so you make that number of single crochets. If there's no number, it means to make 1 single crochet by default. Here it means inside the magic ring loop, you need to crochet 6 single crochets. Start with the first single crochet, insert into the magic ring, place the hook above the yarn. Draw the yarn through. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. Place the hook underneath the yarn. Yarn over. Pull through all loops at once. One single crochet is completed. At the top right of the single crochet, there is a V-shaped pair of strands. This is the stitch of a single crochet. 1 stitch represents 1 single crochet. On this stitch, place a stitch marker to mark it. If you don't have a stitch marker, you can use a safety pin or a paperclip as an alternative. Continue with the second single crochet. Insert into the large space. Place the hook above the yarn. Draw the yarn through. Place the hook underneath the yarn. Pull the yarn through all loops at once. The second single crochet is now completed. You need to crochet a total of 6 single crochets in the first round. Continue to complete the remaining stitches. Three. 4. 5. 6. Now, the stitch pattern corresponding to the chart is completed. After that, close the magic ring. First, enlarge the loop here, to prevent the loop from slipping off. There are 2 loops in total. Gently pull the starting tail first. At this point, 1 loop is still movable. Tighten the movable loop. There is 1 loop left. Pull the yarn tail tight directly. This way, the loop is closed properly. Since we are using the spiral crocheting method for each round, you just need to crochet the corresponding stitch pattern as shown in the chart. This way, we have completed the first round. Let's take a look at the texture. There are horizontal bars below each stitch. This side with the horizontal bars is the wrong side of the fabric. The other side is the right side. For the arms, the right side texture should be facing out. The next line in the chart is R236X. This indicates rounds 2 to 3, where each round consists of 1 single crochet in each stitch. That means each round has 6 single crochets. Let's start with round 2. For this round, you will pick up stitches as you crochet. When crocheting, place the starting tail above the hook and weave in the ends as you go along. After completing the first stitch, place a stitch marker on the first stitch. Then, continue working single crochets into each stitch on the left side, corresponding 1 by 1, all the way to the last stitch, which is the stitch right of the marker. Don't forget to weave in the ends as you go. After finishing the last stitch, check the stitch count. Start counting the stitches from the marked position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are a total of 6 stitches in this round. The total number of stitches for each round is noted in the corresponding table. I won't repeat the instructions after this. You can cut off the excess tail from the starting chain directly. This completes the second round. Since there is no increase in stitches, therefore, the fabric will curl up like this. Note: ensure the right side texture is facing out. Make sure not to get it wrong. Additionally, when crocheting in spirals, there will be a height difference between the beginning and ending. This is normal. Continue with the third round. The crochet method for this round is identical to the second round. That is, picking up stitches and working single crochets correspondingly. Unless otherwise specified, it is assumed that you will continue picking up stitches and crocheting. Start by making the first single crochet. After completing it, continue and mark the first stitch. For the arm, make a mark on the first stitch of every round going forward. This will not be repeated in further instructions. Continue crocheting single crochets evenly without increasing or decreasing. Keep going all the way to the stitch right of the marker. Now, the third round is also completed. Continue with the fourth round. The first stitch of this round is the symbol for a bobble stitch with 3 double crochets. In the first stitch, start with an incomplete double crochet. Yarn over once. Insert the hook into the stitch. Draw the yarn through. You should have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over again. Pull the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. An incomplete double crochet is now done. Continue in the same insertion position. Hook the second incomplete double crochet. Yarn over once. Insert the hook into the stitch. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. The second incomplete double crochet is now completed. Follow the same method. Continue in the same insertion position. Hook the third incomplete double crochet. After completing it, yarn over. Pull through all the loops on the hook. That's a bobble stitch with 3 double crochets, DC3 bobble. Corresponding to the top right, there is also a V shape formed by 2 strands of yarn. This is the stitch of the bobble. Place a stitch marker on this stitch to mark it. Next, work 5 single crochets, SC, into each stitch correspondingly. That means continue hooking all the way to the stitch right of the marker. Pay attention. Do not hook the next stitch too loosely. Now, the fourth round is completed. When counting rounds, avoid the starting position. Count the raised textures as your guide. How many rounds of texture there are? Count how many rounds you have worked. Try to count the single crochets in the same column. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, you have completed 4 rounds. Continue to crochet rounds 5 through 25. If the stitch marker interferes with crocheting, you can place it underneath the stitch like this. Next, everyone please complete the first 25 rounds on your own. I won't demonstrate this part. Now I have already completed round 25. Refer to the chart. These rounds are identical to round 2. That is, each round involves working one single crochet into each stitch in sequence. The method is quite simple. Everyone can refer to the demonstration of round 2. To finish the remaining rounds, after completing it, stretch the loop. Leave a tail of about 20 centimeters and cut off. This way, one arm is finished. Next, everyone can follow the same method to crochet another identical arm. At the end, leave a tail of about 20 centimeters as well. I won't repeat the demonstration. After both arms are crocheted, continue learning the method of crocheting the bottom. The bottom also starts with an adjustable magic ring. Follow the magic ring loop and crochet in rounds. The new stitches used include chain stitch, single crochet increase, and slip stitch. Next, please watch my demonstration. First, refer to the method used for casting on the arms to create an adjustable magic ring. Start with the magic ring technique. R1 is 7x. So, in the first round, crochet 7 single crochets into the ring. Before working, start with a chain stitch as the turning chain for the single crochet, yarn over, and pull the yarn through. The turning chain of the single crochet does not count as a stitch, therefore, it is not specified in the chart. Next, in this large hole, crochet 7 single crochets. If you cannot tell where the first stitch is, you can also place a marker on the first stitch. Mark it. And continue to complete the remaining single crochets. After finishing, refer to the demonstration on the arm. Close the magic ring. After completing it, in the first stitch, make a slip stitch join. Insert into the stitch. yarn over, and draw through all loops on the hook in one go. A slip stitch is now completed. This creates a V shape. It's the braid formed by the slip stitch. Note that the slip stitch doesn't count as a stitch, therefore, it is also not marked in the chart. Slightly tighten. Otherwise, you might crochet too many stitches in the following rounds. Like this. We've finished explaining the first round. Continue with the second round. This round is 7V. V indicates a single crochet increase, SC2 in 1. The number before V tells you how many consecutive single crochet increases to make. If there's no number before V, it means to make one single crochet increase by default. Here, you need to make 7 single crochet increases. A single crochet increase means crocheting 2 single crochets into the same stitch. To start, work 1 chain stitch as the turning chain for the single crochet. Pay attention. For all rounds of the bottom except the last round, at the beginning of each round, start with 1 chain stitch as the turning chain. Then, make the first single crochet increase, SC2 in 1. Insert the hook into the first stitch, which is the same insertion point, where you just made the slip stitch. Crochet 1 single crochet there. When crocheting, manage the yarn tail. Place it over the hook and weave in as you go. If you can identify the position of the first stitch, you don't need to place a stitch marker. After completing this, continue in the same stitch. And crochet another single crochet. This way, you have completed a single crochet increase, SC2 in 1. It's equivalent to increasing 1 stitch. Continue in the next stitch on the left. Crochet the second single crochet increase. That is, in this stitch, crochet 2 single crochets. Don't forget to weave in the yarn tail. One, 2. Another single crochet increase, SC2 in 1, is completed. Following the same method, for the remaining stitches, crochet single crochet increases respectively. After completing, on the first stitch, make 1 slip stitch to join. Insert the hook into the stitch, yarn over, and draw through all loops on the hook. Slip stitch is completed. Slightly tighten. Pay attention. At the end of each round of the bottom, you need to join with a slip stitch on the first stitch, and slightly tighten. Note that slip stitches do not count as a stitch. This way, the second round is completed. Continue with the third round. Refer to the chart. In this round, the stitches in parentheses form a group of stitches. That is, 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet increase form a group of stitches. Multiply by the number specified. This indicates the total number of groups. In this round, there are 7 groups. Start with the first group. That is, crochet 1 single crochet. Remember to start each round with a turning chain. The first stitch is always made in the same insertion position as the slip stitch from the previous round. Then, make a single crochet increase. This completes one group. Continue with this method. Finish the remaining 6 groups. That is, alternate between single crochets and single crochet increases. Complete this round. Don't forget to join with a slip stitch. This way, round 3 is completed. Continue to round 4. Referring to the chart, you can see that this round consists of 1 single crochet increase per group and 2 single crochets, that is, alternate between a single crochet increase and 2 single crochets. Following this pattern, complete this round. After finishing, continue to round 5. In round 5, alternate between 3 single crochets and a single crochet increase. The method is quite simple. Finish round 5 on your own, as I will not demonstrate it. Now, I have completed the first 5 rounds. Continue to round 6. Refer to the chart. Start with 2 single crochets. Then crochet 6 groups of stitches, that is, alternate between a single crochet increase and 4 single crochets. After completing the 6 groups, there will be exactly 3 stitches left. Crochet a single crochet increase, followed by 2 single crochets. After finishing round 6, continue to refer to the chart. To complete rounds 7 and 8, I will not demonstrate this part. Now, I have completed the first 8 rounds. Continue with round 9. Turn means turn the fabric over. Place the wrong side facing you. You can turn it clockwise. S indicates a slip stitch. Crochet into the adjacent stitch on the left side. Pay attention. The tighter braid here is formed by the slip stitch, so skip it and do not crochet. Don't pull this slip stitch too tight. You can keep it slightly loose. Otherwise, it will be harder to crochet later. Place a marker on the braid formed by this slip stitch. Continue picking up stitches on the left side. Crochet slip stitches correspondingly, and don't tighten any of them. Finish this round. Pay attention. At the insertion point, where the previous round was joined with a slip stitch, you'll finish with the last slip stitch perfectly. Make sure not to miss any stitches. After completing it, on this final braid, place a marker as well. Then check the total stitch count. That means counting the stitch markers and the number of braids between them. Once completed, you should also start from the first stitch here. Make one slip stitch to join. Ensure all joining slip stitches are pulled tight. And remember, it does not count as a stitch. Don't cut the yarn after completing it. This way, we have completed round 9. After finishing the bottom, continue crocheting upwards for the body. During the crocheting process, you need to insert an acrylic sheet inside, stuffing fiber fill, weighting beads, and shaping wire. When you reach the top here, you will also need to attach the arms. The new stitch technique used is single crochet decrease. Below, please watch as I demonstrate. Begin with the first round of the body. Start by making one chain stitch as the turning chain for the single crochet. Next, rotate the fabric clockwise. You will notice that there are 2 rounds of chains here. The round of chains facing us consists of the single stitches formed by the 8th round of the bottom. The round of chains at the back is formed by the slip stitches of the 9th round. The first round of single crochets for the body is worked on the chains formed by the slip stitches. The first single crochet is worked on the chain of the stitch marker on the left side. After completing it, if you can distinguish the position of the first stitch, then for this first stitch here, you don't need to place a stitch marker, then work single crochets in the adjacent chains, formed by slip stitches on the left side, one by one, all the way to the last stitch marker position. After completing it, join with a slip stitch in the first stitch. Let's take a look. The first round of the body is now completed. Continue to crochet the second round. At the beginning of each subsequent round for the body, make one turning chain as well. Then follow the stitch pattern in the chart. For this round, work single crochets evenly into each stitch. After completing it, at the end of each round, join with a slip stitch in the first stitch. The second round is now completed. Next, refer to the demonstration of the second round, and continue to crochet rounds 3 to 12 without increasing or decreasing. I will not demonstrate these rounds. Now, I have already completed the first 12 rounds. Continue to crochet the 13th round. Indicates a single crochet decrease, SC2 tog. Refer to the chart. This round consists of alternating 12 single crochets and 1 single crochet decrease. Start with 12 single crochets. Then, complete with 1 single crochet decrease. For a neat appearance, you need to make an invisible decrease here, which means picking up like this. On the left side, pick up the outer half loops of 2 stitches and crochet 1 single crochet. This way, the single crochet decrease is completed. Corresponding to the top right, there is also a V-shaped stitch, which effectively decreases 1 stitch. This completes one group. Continue with the second group, starting with 12 single crochets. Then, crochet 1 single crochet decrease. It looks like this. Meanwhile, pick up the outer half loops of 2 stitches on the left side and crochet 1 single crochet. Another single crochet decrease is completed. This completes the second group. Follow this pattern. Continue to alternate between crocheting 12 single crochets and 1 single crochet decrease to complete this round. Now, the 13th round is completed. Continue with rounds 14 to 43. After you finish 2-3 decrease stitches, you need to place the acrylic board inside. This side has a protective film. If you don't like it, you can peel it off. I will leave it on here. Then add a small amount of stuffing. Next, pour in a bag of waiting beads roughly evenly. Then add a little more stuffing. Press it down slightly. Pour in another bag of waiting beads. After completing this, cut 3 pieces of shaping wire. Refer to the length specified in the diagram instructions. It's okay if they are a bit longer. You can trim them later. Then align the shaping wires and twist them together. Twist them loosely. Then insert it into the middle. Push it all the way to the bottom. Continue adding stuffing. Pay attention, don't add too much stuffing, and don't add too little either. Too little won't hold the shape, and too much will make it too firm. Try to distribute it as evenly as possible. Then continue crocheting. Complete the first 43 rounds. As you crochet, keep adding the stuffing. Now, I have reached the end of round 43. Pay attention, since round 44 will be crocheted with a different color. Therefore, after completing the last single crochet of round 43, when doing the slip stitch join, switch to the corresponding color for the next round and draw through. Note: the sample is made for convenience in watching. Colors are chosen randomly. Leave a 5-10 cm tail at the beginning. Pull the original yarn tight. Then leave another 5-10 cm before cutting it off. This way, we have covered the first 43 rounds, and the color change has been completed. Continue crocheting rounds 44-54. These rounds are all crocheted evenly without increasing or decreasing. Hide the yarn tails as you crochet. Now, I have reached the end of round 54. Similarly, since round 55 needs to be crocheted with a different color, therefore, the color change also needs to be done at the end of round 54. The method is the same as before. The sample swatch colors are random. This way, round 54 is completed. Continue with round 55. Start by crocheting 6 single crochets normally. After completing them, take out one of the crocheted arms. Insert the hook from the inside out. and insert it into the adjacent stitch on the left side of the yarn tail like this. At the same time, pass through the adjacent stitch on the left side of the body like this. Work a single crochet. Don't make the connecting single crochet too loose, make it slightly tight. After completing it, continue with 13 more single crochets normally. After completing them, take out the other arm. Similarly, first pass through the arm like this. At the adjacent stitch on the left side of the yarn tail. At the same time, pass through the adjacent stitch on the left side of the body. Work one single crochet. Don't make this single crochet too loose. Then continue normally to finish the remaining stitches in this round. Now, round 55 is completed. Continue with round 56. Start by working single crochets normally. Keep going all the way through. Connect with the single crochet of this arm. After completing, pick up the stitches of the arm from the outside inward. Work single crochets correspondingly. That is, work 5 single crochets. After completing, from the body. Starting at this stitch on the left side, work single crochets correspondingly, all the way to finish the one stitch connecting the arm. Place the yarn tail on the outside of the fabric. After completing, work the single crochets correspondingly. Hook 5 single crochets on the arm. After completing, finish the remaining single crochets on the body. Now, we have completed round 56 and attached the arm. Next, attach shaping wires in both arms. First, measure the distance between the two arms. Then cut a piece of shaping wire. About 2 centimeters longer than this distance. Here, I have already cut it. Then fold one end about 1 centimeter. Pass the other end through the shaping wire in the body. Insert the folded end into the arm. Then fold the other end as well. And pass it through the other side of the arm. This way, the shaping wire for the arms is installed. Continue crocheting the remaining rounds on the body, following the chart. The stitch techniques for the remaining rounds have already been explained. The method is quite simple. Everyone can finish crocheting the remaining rounds on their own. Here, I have already completed it. Note, since there are fewer stitches in this section, you don't need to start with a turning chain, and you don't need to finish with a slip stitch at the end. Just crochet the approximate number of rounds. It doesn't need to be too precise. And you don't need to stuff this section with filling cotton. After crocheting, if there is excess shaping wire, trim off the excess part. Then, leave a yarn tail of about 15 centimeters and cut it off. Pass the yarn tail through the loop. Thread the yarn tail onto a sewing needle. Then, like this, pass it through approximately the outer half stitch of each stitch. Finally, tighten the yarn tail. This way, the edge is closed. Next, tie the yarn tail to secure it. Then weave in the yarn tail inside the fabric for a few stitches. After completing that, thread the yarn tail from the arm section onto a sewing needle. Then sew a few stitches under the arm. Ensure there are no noticeable holes here. After completing, weave in the yarn tail and fasten off. Do the same for the other side using the same method. I won't demonstrate that. Up to this point, the body is completed. Once the body is finished, continue with learning the crochet method for the head. The head also starts with a magic ring. Work along the magic ring, crochet in rounds. Next, please watch as I demonstrate. First, refer to the foundation method at the bottom. To start with the magic ring, then, follow the chart to crochet the first round. Note that, for each round of the head, you also need to make one chain stitch at the beginning. After completing, close the loop. At the end of each round, you also need to join with a slip stitch. After completing the first round, continue to crochet the second round. In this round, alternate between single crochets and single crochet increases. After completing, ensure that the wrong side texture is on the outside. That is, the side with horizontal lines should be facing out. Then continue to work even for the first 10 rounds. I will not demonstrate this part. Now, I have already completed the first 10 rounds. When counting rounds, you can count the number of horizontal lines in one column. There should be 10 lines. Continue to crochet the 11th round. Note, for this round, you need to pick up the outer half loop to crochet, that is, the strand on the outside of the stitch. This round consists entirely of single crochet increases. This way, the 11th round is completed. Continue crocheting while referring to the chart. When you reach the last few rounds, stuff with an appropriate amount of fiber fill. Here is the crocheted sample swatch. The stitch count and number of rounds may differ from the sample. The focus is on explaining the method. You can simply follow the chart for actual crocheting. We will place the side with a row of horizontal lines on the outside. Pay attention. After stuffing the fiber fill, ensure that it can fit properly into the body. If it's difficult to insert, you can use a pair of chopsticks or a pen from home to push it in like this. Then complete the remaining rounds. Continue crocheting and adding fiber fill as needed. I won't demonstrate this part. After completing the last round, make one chain stitch to secure. Stretch the loop. Leave a tail of about 15 centimeters and fasten off normally. Then refer to the closing method used for the bodice end. To close up, that concludes the crocheting method for the head. Up to this point, the main part of the bride is also complete. After finishing the main part of the bride, continue with the main part of the groom. Here, I have already completed the groom's arms, head and bottom using the same crocheting method as the bride. The crocheting method for the body is similar to the bride's, but the number of rounds worked even differs in some sections. Additionally, the positions for switching colors and the colors themselves are different. Refer to the chart for the length of the shaping wire placed in the middle of the body. Similarly, it's fine if it's slightly longer, you can trim it later. Next, everyone refer to the chart and follow the demonstration for the bride. To crochet the main part of the groom, I won't demonstrate this part.